What's up, YouTube? TGIF here with another quick deck profile. Version 2 I just traded for the Crystal Beast deck that my friend has a video of. I've come into acquiring that so I can play around with it a little bit. And it interested me, but I tweaked it a bit, so I thought I'd give you the rundown of version 2 of the Crystal Beast deck. So, to start, we run triple. Sapphire Pegasus is an 1800 beat stick, 4 stars. When this is normal summoned, you can select one Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and put it in the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. If you don't already know, all Crystal Beast monsters, when all the spells have to do with them being in the spell and trap zone, all the support cards, but when they're destroyed, when they're face up on the field and destroyed, they go into the spell and trap zone as continuous spells. And you'll see why that's useful when you come to the boss monsters and the spells for the deck. So we run 3 of those. It is the main startup of the engine. We run 2 Topaz Tiger, as well as it's a level 4 beast, as well as this Sapphire Pegasus is also a beast. So when this monster attacks an opponent's monster, increase its attack by 400. It's a 1600 semi beat stick, but when it goes up, when it attacks, it becomes 2000 beat stick. So use it to get over, and you can also, it's a beast, so it's a target for Horn of the Phantom Beast, which is kind of key card. Not entirely a key card. We'll get to it. But run 2, 3 becomes cloggy because you want to kind of set up plays. That's what Crystal Beast is all about. You don't want to just sit there and beat them to death. So next up on the 2 ofs, Amber Mammoth, 1700 beat stick, also a target for Horn of the Phantom Beast. When your opponent selects another Crystal Beast monster as an attack target, I believe it's Crystal Beast, not just any. Yes, when another Crystal Beast monster I control is targeted for an attack, I can make them target this. There's a beautiful play with Horn of the Phantom Beast. They're attacking like your carbuncle or something. You tell them to attack this, then you flip Horn. They die, take some damage, and you draw a card. And then, one more, they become afraid to attack, because if this is sitting here at a 25 beat stick with Horn, it's like, unless they're attacking with a Grapha, which if they're attacking with a Grapha, they're not, because you side in Macrocosmos, but unless they're attacking with something higher, you're just going to sit there and be like, you have to attack this, you have to attack this, and you're going to get a free draw every time because you're forcing your opponent to attack Amber Mammoth. 2, because 3 becomes inconsistent. 2 Ruby Carbuncle. You run 2 because its effect is beautiful, but it's not strong, so you don't want to throw it out there and you don't want to be stuck with 2 of these in your hand, so you have 2 just in your deck as floating around to grab them as they come by. When this monster is special summon as many monsters as you possibly can from your spell and trap zone, as many Crystal Beasts from your spell and trap zone as you can. This means special summon from anywhere: graveyard, banished, deck, hand, or spell and trap zone. If it's special summon to the monster zone, you can special summon as many. That will move an entire back row up, and that can be an OTK if you've cleared their field. So 2 of that. And then I believe the rest of them are 1 ofs. They're only for the names. They're kind of like Light Sworns, whereas you want to increase your chance with Light Sworns of getting the names in the graveyard. You want to have all 7 Crystal Beasts. So 1 Emerald Tortoise. I don't even use its effect, but it's 2000 defense wall. This Cobalt Eagle, forgot the gemstone behind it, but Cobalt Eagle. Once per turn, you can send 1 Crystal Beast back to the top of your deck. So I mean, you can draw into a Pegasus again, but really it's just a name, goes into a spell and trap zone. And they're easy to come out because this is a 4, so you can summon or monk it. Only one of these is targetable with Horn, but you can get them with your Sapphire Pegasus, you can get them out. So one of them is it's the best bet. And then one Amethyst Cat, because again, its effect isn't that great. When it can attack directly, but it only does 600 as opposed to its 1200 attack. So those are the Crystal Beast monsters that are in the deck. Then we move on to 2 boss monsters and then 4 tech cards. Hamon, 4000 attack and defense. Can only be special summoned by sending to the graveyard 3 continuous spells. You have every one of your monsters becomes a continuous spell when they're destroyed, and when they're sent to the graveyard, you can fish them out with the many support cards. But not really too sure on his effect. When it destroys an opponent's monster as a result of battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent's life points as well as any damage. While this card is in face-up defense position on your side of the field, your opponent cannot select another monster as an attack target. This is another one of the they're not going to want to attack again, but he's a boss. 1, because 2 becomes clogging and you don't want to start dumping your stuff into your grave. It's a boss monster. And then Rainbow Dragon. You don't really use its effect. You can remove from play all the Crystal Beasts or send all the Crystal Beasts to the graveyard. Its effect's not really that great, but it's 4000 beater. That it's another one of those why nots, because it's the Judgment Dragon of the deck. You can send, if you have all the Crystal Beast monsters, 1 of each, in your field or graveyard, this comes out. And its effects aren't that great, but I'll read them to you anyways. It can't activate its effect on the turn it's summoned. During either player's turn, you can send all Crystal Beast monsters you control to the graveyard. This card gains 1000 attack. It's already 4000. Or you can banish all Crystal Beast monsters from your graveyard to shuffle all cards on the field into the deck. The only problem is it targets itself with that, so as you can see, unless you're swinging for an OTK or swinging for game to get over something, you would really only use its first effect. But it's another boss monster. Then 2, because you can only run 2. I can definitely see why you can only run 2. It's broke. Summon Monk. When it's summoned, change it to defense. You can send 1 spell to your graveyard from your hand and you run a lot of spells. The majority only run 5 traps, and after 2 more cards, it's all spells. You can then you can special summon 1 level 4, and it has to be level 4 to your field. You usually special summon him to send something that you don't have into your grave, or into your spell and trap zone. Or you special summon this or this to swing over things. It's a good tech choice. And this, one more, this doesn't make dead spells as dead, because it's a special summon for a dead spell. So if you have something that you really can't use, pitch it for Summoner Monk. It's a free special summon. So it makes all spells live, essentially. Then 2 Battle Fader. Early game, this deck cannot win. It will always be vulnerable early game. And with Battle Fader and the search power and stuff, Battle Fader makes the early game not as dangerous, and it makes the monster's attacks not as live, because they're going to attack into a Battle Fader. And you don't run Gores because you'll always have something in the continuous spell and trap zone, and it's very consistent with getting stuff in there and getting monsters on the field. So they're attacking over your monsters, you move them to the spell and trap zone. They're attacking directly, you drop Battle Fader, and then that's just another thing that they have to get over in the end. That takes care of the monsters. It's about 20-something monsters, 18 or 20 non-spells. Ancient City Rainbow Ruins, the field spell, is based around all the Crystal Beast monsters in your graveyard, or in your spell and trap zone. Sorry, I'm used to graveyard. 1. This card cannot be destroyed, and they stack. Sorry, they stack. 1. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. 2. Once per turn, you can have the battle damage you take. 3. When a spell or trap is activated, you can send 1 Crystal Beast monster you control to the graveyard, negate the activation, and destroy it. It's like it becomes a solemn judgment at that point. 4. Once per turn during your main phase, you can draw a card. It is a free draw as well as negation and can't be destroyed. 5. Once per turn during your main phase, you can target one Crystal Beast monster in your graveyard and special summon. This does everything Crystal Beast related. It is a beautiful card. If you're running Crystal Beast, you have to run 3. 2. Crystal Beacon. Special summon one Crystal Beast monster from your deck. You must have 2 or more Crystal Beast monsters in your Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap zone to activate and resolve this. It's just another. If you don't have 2 and you have a Summoner Monk out, it's the same thing. So this is just another Summoner Monk, but it gets any of them. It's very useful. Crystal Abundance. When you have 4 or more, send 4 or more Crystal Beast monsters from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Then send, not destroy. Doesn't get negated by things that say when it destroys monsters, it destroys card. Can't Starlight Road, can't Stardust. Anything. Send all cards on the field to the graveyard. Then special summon as many Crystal Beast monsters as you can, equal to the number of cards your opponent sent. It can be an OTK. Or swing for almost OTK and leave your opponent with nothing. It's a very, very, very good card. And I'll jump to this one. It pairs nicely with Crystal Blessings. Target and send 2 Crystal Beast monsters from your graveyard to the spell and trap zone. And then you pop this. Voila. That is close to game. 2 Crystal Promises, special 1 Crystal Beast monster from your spell and trap zone. Enough said. You special summon Carbuncle, all of them go. This card right here helps with consistency, and you're fine with sending because Crystal Blessings is up to 2. So if you have 2 or more Crystal Beast monsters in your spell and trap zone, your opponent targets 1, sends to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, and then you Crystal Blessings, get it back in spell and trap zone, go for game, and on to the staples. Double Duality, like every single video. 3 becomes Cloggy. 2 dualities, because you special summon occasionally, and come end game you're going to be special summoning a lot, just popping them from the spell and trap zone and stuff with your 5 and your field spell and your promises and your summoner monks and stuff. So 2, grabbing 1 early game is beautiful, and it, again, if you're going for game, it doesn't become dead. No spell is dead with Summoner Monk. And then we have 3 staples. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, 1 MST, not heavy, because we like them in the spell and trap zone. Run 5 traps. Triple, Horn of the Phantom Beast. I've explained this to you. Flip, equipped to a beast or beast warrior type monster. It gains 800 attack. Then, if it destroys a monster by battle, you can draw a card, or you do draw a card. It helps with consistency beautifully, and it's a trap, so if your opponent doesn't MST it, or it'll just root out an MST, because this isn't necessarily a win condition unless you're just slapping them in the face the whole time. I mean, it'll root out an MST, it'll root out a heavy, so then you can keep your stuff in the back row. And with the draw power and stuff with this deck, you draw into it pretty quickly, so you only need it like once or twice before you really don't need it anymore. It doesn't become as viable because you're getting over your monsters and stuff. And then you equip it to your Amber Mammoth, make your opponent continuously target your Amber Mammoth and die and draw. And then, because it's at 2, Trench Tribute. It's okay if your monsters on the field die. Theirs are going to the graveyard, yours are going to continuous spell and trap zone to be special summoned. Very fun deck, very consistent. I like it a lot. I'm glad I got these. Next locals I go to, I'll probably test play this, and then go on a Sunday and actually play my Frogs or my Dragunities and top. But this deck, a few side notes here. You can really there's no specific side deck that you need to run. There's the side deck you can always run is any side deck you want is a side deck in this if you side out the correct cards. Extra deck purely exceed 3 and 4s. I'm gonna try to get a hold of some. I mean, I have a Leviathan and some Utopias and stuff, but I don't really, honestly, I don't go into them because the deck's not built around doing that. So, but you can. I mean, I'm gonna try to get a Roach this weekend with my trade binder up and stuff, and some Magic cards that I got that are pretty expensive. So, I'll try to get maybe a Roach. And I mean, well, Zen Mains never is a wrong choice with your Amethyst Cat and your Emerald Tortoise and stuff. So, and quick reason, this deck, I mean, it stalls out until your big plays. There's a lot of draw power, so you get your big plays quickly. And Horn of the Phantom Beast is a big, kind of an MVP because you get your stuff up, and you can swing over most everything. And then your field spell will go out and then F up Dark Worlds, and you have a 28, and they have a 27. And then, one more. With the special summoning and the recyclability of this deck, your opponent kind of gets scared and might want to, like, say you're playing Rescue Rabbits, they might want to pop their Dolka or pop their Lagia's equipments a little bit early, or materials a little bit early, whereas, like, you do this, you send one, special summon one, pop the one that was special summoned, then you get it back from the graveyard, and they're down 1, because this gets from the graveyard. And then you run 3, so you're getting them from the graveyard to the field, and then it recycles amazingly, and it's very consistent, and the recycling power just makes it a bajillion million times more consistent. But I'm out. To a Base Nectar concert. Farewell, YouTube. Enjoy, rate, like, comment, subscribe. Team Budget out.